Hello, all. This is Dalton from O Town Iron. I'm here with our owner, Jacob Colburn, and welcome to episode 1 of Talk of the O Town. This is going to be a podcast that we'll be dropping on Spotify every Monday. It's going to be another outlet for you guys to learn announcements about the gym, any future plans that we have coming up for the gym, or just anything or any information involving the gym. This past week, if you've noticed, our social media has been revamped a little bit. We've been way more active on Instagram and Facebook. We started a Twitter, Snapchat, and we're working on some full-length YouTube content. And that's something that I am actually responsible for, and I have been taking over. I'm looking to offer just a consistent follow with good content that we can help you guys reach your fitness goals and help you guys feel more involved in the gym. So I'm here with our owner, Jacob, and our first discussion point is pretty much just going over the changes we've made to the gym and what's coming up after this post-COVID shutdown. So Jacob, what has this reopening after the COVID shutdown been like for you?
Yeah, thank you, Dalton. So, first of all, really excited to be starting this podcast. Like Dalton was saying, I think with all the new social media outlets that he's working on, it'll give us a really good opportunity to keep everybody updated. And, each outlet obviously gives us the opportunity to provide some really cool content in its own way. So I think that'll be really cool. We have some really cool ideas to come for that stuff. As far as the COVID shutdown and whatnot, for people that have been following us for a while, obviously, that was quite the situation when we had to finally close our doors. We did everything we could for that last week there when we had some restrictions on, only 10 people could be in, blah, blah, blah. When we closed, we wanted to use that opportunity. Actually, one of our members used the analogy, said, we use that time to sharpen our knives, which I think we did a pretty good job at. Coming back, you'll see we painted some new murals on the walls. We bolted down some machines. We had some big truss fixtures, things like that we took out to open the space up a little bit. Basically, our goal there was just to accommodate volume. We had such a lot of attention coming to the gym right before we closed, just because we're the last gym to close. We came out with our app at that last minute and kind of allowed people to sign up for time slots so we could at least keep the gym open as long as we could. And it built a lot of really good rapport from members. And, we got a lot of attention from the community. So we knew when we opened back up, we're going to be getting quite a bit of people coming in, signing up, which we were definitely right about. But, some of those things like bolting down machines, rearranging, just some of the things that we did with the gym allow us to accommodate that volume of people a little bit better. And that was, I think that worked out pretty well for us.
Do you want to talk about the murals a little bit? Who designed them? I don't know who painted them.
Yeah, so the murals, when we were first opening, at a graphic designer, Alexander Ramsey, and he did the interior design with the place. Basically just made some mock-ups and said, all right, do this mural here and this one here, and gave us the designs for it. I actually did the painting of the murals, which was a huge pain in the ass, but I mean, it turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, looks dope. Great addition.
Thank you.
Also, we got the heavy bag back in. That's a big addition. I know that a lot of you guys were asking where that's been.
Yeah, a lot of people have been asking about that.
That was huge to get that back in. So like I said, this past week is the first week of me taking over and revamping the social media. If you noticed, what the main focus this week was promoting the apparel. We got a new retail section in the gym right when you walk in, just a display of the designs and such. I did create a Google folder with all of our color options. So if you have any questions about what color you would like in either the t-shirt, stringer, long sleeve, or hoodie, just shoot us a message or just let us know at the gym and we can hook you up with that link so you can look through all those. What is kind of your goal with the apparel, or what's went into making the apparel take that next step for you?
Yeah, so I'm super excited about the apparel, actually. And honestly, those mock-ups you made definitely boosted some of our sales on the apparel end, which was pretty cool to see. But yeah, basically apparel, we're trying to expand that across the board. We used to just have some t-shirts and hoodies. Now we added some long sleeves. We got stringers. And we're basically just trying to get every color that we can possibly do. We want to offer all that stuff. So, we've got, you worked on that binder where we've got all the different colors and designs, things like that. I definitely want to get our online presence with the apparel up. and running a little bit more so that we have our e-commerce presence be a little bit more prevalent. But, the apparel I'm really excited about because, people that have our apparel have tried it on. We don't just get like cotton t-shirts, things like that. We have good quality stuff, and we work through a local company that does all the print work and stuff like that, and they do a really good job. So I'm really excited to get that brand out and have some more people getting that apparel. So,
and that's Offbeat Press,
yep,
correct?
That's with the Offbeat Press.
Dope.
Yeah, they do all the printing.
For sure, I've heard great things about them. And yeah, I can second that. The apparel quality, not only the prints, but the quality of the shirt is second to none. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. One of the softest t-shirts you ever put on. Great workout tee. Like I mentioned earlier, I am revamping the website. And Jacob did talk about having that e-commerce come up in the next couple weeks. So with revamping the website, that is definitely one of the main focuses, is getting that online store, so that if you guys are, it's easier for you guys to look through the colors and to put an order in for any apparel. But also just a more easy accessible website if you're looking to sign up, or if you're looking to learn about any of the equipment we have in the gym or what we offer as a gym. That's the goal of the revamp of the website.
Another thing I kind of want to add to that I just thought about as you were talking is, one thing that we did really well with, and just, one of our goals with all the projects we have going on and whatnot right now too, one thing that we did very well with, that a lot of our members really liked with prior to us expanding the gym and whatnot, is that, how personable we are with our members and how we had that one-on-one contact. And one of the things that I'm really excited about with some of these social media platforms, and the more that we're doing to grow here, is it allows us to keep that contact and keep people in the loop with things, so that, as we're growing, we're getting a lot more members in the door. We can still make sure everybody's in the loop with everything, and that we keep that kind of personable touch, so that people have multiple outlets they can be reaching out, and we don't just become a number. Is we can grow and we can scale our growth so that we can remain personable with our members. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. Sure. And that's another reason I wanted to add the video aspect to this podcast. If you guys do see me walking around the gym, I'm going to be the one that's filming all the content. And we do want to start stuff like members of the month, and just doing certain creative things like that. So if there's a day that you come to the gym and you're deciding to max out and bench, don't ever be scared to come up to me and ask, get it thrown on the Snapchat. I want to keep you guys engaged. I want to offer different ways for you guys to feel involved in the gym, because truthfully, you guys are what keep us running. And honestly, there's not a better way for us to keep you guys interacting than social media. So don't be scared. Anything you want filmed, any suggestions you have for videos or anything like that, I'm the guy to come to, and we can work that out. Anything else you really want to get off announcement wise, or anything like that? I think we're good.
I don't think so. Nothing that comes to mind.
So the second kind of portion of this podcast will be member-based questions and topic suggestions. So I did create a Google form where you can submit any topic or question that you have. That is available in our link in the link is available in all our bios on all of our social media platforms. And if you're not able to find that, just shoot us a message. I'll send it to you. But the first question that we got was, Jacob, what are your keys to staying consistent and successful in weight loss and fitness journeys?
Yeah, I mean, personally, just making sure you have a regimen, a routine that works for you, that you actually enjoy doing. One of the quickest ways that you can be inconsistent is if you hate the routine that you're doing. For me, I enjoyed lifting weights. I like, plugging in my headphones and blasting loud music and just weightlifting. That's kind of what works for me.
For sure.
I used to be a runner, and I used to just like going out and running 6 miles at a time, but I enjoy doing that. But biggest thing is just figuring out what it is, getting to the gym, finding a gym that you enjoy going to. I always tell people that when they're checking out the gym too, like, you'll know if you like the place. I always let people work out a few times for free if they haven't.
Definitely.
If you like it, join and then show up. Don't sign up and not show up. If not, go to a gym that you're actually going to attend. Because if you don't enjoy doing it, you're not going to stick with it. So I'd say just kind of like try around. There's plenty of, especially in Oshkosh, there's enough gyms in the area now. There's studio gyms that do the group training. There's bigger gyms that have the, different, everything's got their own like niche in the fitness industry in this market. So you should be able to find something that you enjoy doing. That would be my biggest piece of advice if you're looking to find a regimen that you can stick with.
For sure, and I agree with that 100%. I think that you guys offer a great way of doing so with being 24/7. That's a big part. Whatever works for your schedule, you can get into O-Town and make that happen and stay consistent. Another thing for me, it's huge to write stuff down. I personally, this week, I just actually wrote out a whole diet plan. I'm pretty strict with my diet, but this week was the first I actually wrote it all down and wrote it out meal by meal. And I noticed that was huge for me. It's something that I can base I'm basing everything I do off of that, and it holds me accountable to follow that.
Right.
And that's something that I have found huge, is just writing goals down and sticking to those goals and making sure that you're doing what you got to do. The fact of the matter is you kind of know what you got to do to stay consistent and stay successful in your weight loss and fitness journeys. It's just a matter of doing it. So I think that
find other
down,
people to hold you accountable too.
Sure.
When you're at the gym, don't just be by yourself. Talk to other members, talk to the front desk people, then if you're not there for a week, people are like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. They kind of help hold you accountable too. So I'd say that's a really big thing is, when you're working out, tell people about it. Like, hey, I've been hitting the gym, whatever. And then when they ask you about it, if you haven't, then you're like, you kind of, so
for sure.
They're holding you accountable for that. So.
And that's another thing with us being such a personal gym. Even if you're not interested in necessarily going right into the group training or the personal training or anything like that, that does not mean that you can't come up to us and just get little suggestions or ask questions for how we stay consistent. And we'll do what we can to make sure that you're following and taking the necessary steps to reach your goals. The second question was, what are your future plans for the gym?
Yeah, that's kind of a broad question. We've got a lot of things in the works right now. Obviously, we always want to grow our membership base. With that being said, I'm very conscious of, while we're growing, to ensure that we have customer service and the systems we have put in place so that nobody ever feels like they're just a number, they're just being pumped through and charged for their membership. I always like to encourage staff to walk around, talk to people, and meet our guests, and know members on a first name basis type of thing. So even though it's every gym's goal to grow their membership base, we don't want you to get washed out or ever feel like you're forgotten or anything like that. So other thing is, I really want to expand our group training. That's something I'd like to push a lot more. People will see, I think I touched on this before. There are a few different things that I want to get up and running. Milton's strength training classes we used to run, those are pretty successful. So I'd like to reboot that pretty soon here. There are some MMA type classes that we're working on that I'd like to get up and running. Quite a few things there. So I'd like to see that be successful. But and then also just, upgrading equipment appropriately. There's quite a few things. We're always listening to members. We always encourage people to give us feedback. If there's a certain piece of equipment they want or something, obviously I can't go out and buy every piece of equipment that people ask me for, but if enough people come up and ask for it, then we'll look into it, So does that answer your question?
Yeah. It's obviously tough to tell. You got to go day by day. I think that we've been progressing great in the gym, and I think that we'll only continue to do so. I think that wraps it up for this podcast. Episode 1, Talk of the O-Town. Obviously wasn't perfect, not anything that it's going to be. This will get better and better every episode. The flow between me and Jacob, production-wise, camera work, everything's going to get better. But genuinely, I really appreciate you guys tuning in and giving us a shot on episode 1, because I promise that we will only get better from here. So let's get a good week of lifts in, and let's keep working hard.